Right, welcome back to Pine Tree State Restorations. And on the bench today, we have two HEATHKIT HWA 202-1 power supplies. A little brief history about HEATHKIT. HEATHKIT made its first kit in 1947. A guy named Howard Anthony. He bought out an aircraft company, started making electronic kits. And he made them all the way up, I think, until the 70s. And then Zenith had bought them out, and Zenith killed the company. But they had made hundreds of different kits that you could buy. You could build radios, shortwave radios, ham radios, everything. It was an awesome company. I wish it was still around. But these two here are two power supplies. And what they do is they take 110 volt and convert them over to 12 volt. And these were both made in 1973 to 75 is when these were made. And they were designed as a companion to the HEATHKIT 2-meter mobile transceiver to use in the house. But you can use these power supplies for anything, a regular CB radio or anything that runs on 12 volt. Basically anything that runs on 12 volt, you could use this power supply for, as long as it doesn't draw any more than 2.2 or 2.3 amps, because that's what these are rated for on the maximum. Now, what goes wrong with these is not much. I'll show you. If you look down in here, you can see that capacitor right there. See how there's stuff leaking out of it? Okay. Normally, all that goes wrong is this capacitor and this capacitor need to be replaced because they're dried out, no longer working. Sometimes the reset button in the back needs to be replaced. Pretty rare. And a lot of times, this little light needs to be replaced. And they made two versions, one with an orange light and one with a red light. And it's probably because of what they had for surplus, and that's what they used. But sometimes these diodes will go out on the circuit board here. Pretty rare. But if they do, they're easy to get to. This thing is super easy to work on. Everything's right out in the open. I mean, anybody can work on it. This is your voltage adjustment right here. See there? You can adjust the voltage, anywhere from probably 11 volts all the way up to 14 volts. I like to run them about, depending on what you're using, I like to run them about 14 volts if it'll go that high. If not, 13.5. I like to run them on the high side, like it would be in a car running, which is usually about 14.2, 14.4 when a car's running. And then sometimes there's a power transistor on the back. Okay. That can go bad. Pretty rare, but it can. And those are a dime a dozen, easy to get. Nothing ever goes wrong with these. Most of the time, what I see is the lights out. Replace these two capacitors. You can go on Amazon and find these. Just type the numbers in, what size they are, the voltage. This one here is a 350 MFD at 30 volts. If you get one that's 400 and one that's 50 or 60 volts, that's fine. You can go bigger. Just don't go too high on the MFD, but you can go up to 400. The volts, you could double 60, no big deal. Same with the small one. Same thing. You just don't want too much capacitance on the capacitor because it'll screw things up a little bit. You don't want too much on there. So, and that's what they are. And they need a good cleaning. The switch just turns it on and off. Right there. Those sometimes will go bad, but pretty rare. Sometimes you might hit them with deoxit. A lot of times I find that the cords are fine, but they're just disgusting with, dirt, cigarette smoke, what have you. Spray them down with green cleaner. Don't get any inside here. And then wipe the cord down. If you don't find any cracks or anything going on with the cord, Then turn around and take some silicone and wipe the cord down with it, soften it up a little bit, and the cord will be fine. You don't have to replace that cord unless you start seeing cracks in it. And I very rarely see that happen. If you start seeing cracks, then you're going to have to definitely replace that cord. But that's what she is, the old HWA 202-1 heat kit, 1973 to 1975. And they are an absolute simple, bulletproof, and I mean bulletproof power supply to run a 2-meter rig on, to run anything 12 volt. You got anything 12 volt, you can run as long as it doesn't pull more than a couple of amps, you're all set. And of course, they need a good cleaning. You know, these front panels will come right off. You can take this off and that panel will come off. You can clean them. And they're chrome plated, metal. You can clean the front panel, polish the chrome, clean the outer cabinet, and you got yourself a nice power supply. So once again, thank you for watching Pine Tree State Restorations. We're going to be replacing the capacitors in here. We're not going to take the circuit board off. We're going to just cut and paste. We're going to cut, put the right polarity on, make sure you got the right polarity, and we're going to just do a little curly Q, and we're going to paste those back on there, solder them back on, and these should be good. Well, this one here has got a bad bulb I got to replace, and clean the switch, test them, both. They're for a customer. He wants to use them, and we're going to get them all cleaned up, change everything, test them all out, make sure they're working right, and it shouldn't cost too much at all. It should be a pretty easy fix. Once again, thanks for watching Pine Tree State Restorations, and we'll see you soon.